Welcome to my new video series here on YouTube. My first guest is Alexa Nether from Australia, but she's originally a German. And I found her on the internet and found out that she will have a tour in Germany. And then I immediately booked her to come to Berlin to my Sensuous Sunday. And I want you all to meet her. So nice to meet you, Alexa.
Hi, how are you?
So tell us, who are you and what do you do and why do you do it?
I am a yoga teacher, first and foremost, and thank you for having me. And I'm really, really excited to come to you to Berlin and to visit you and this amazing group of women. So I'm a yoga teacher, and I used to hide that a little bit, but now it's becoming my total passion. And I'm a surfer, so I love surfing, and that brought me to Australia. I was originally born in Hamburg, and then in my studies of studying at university of becoming a teacher in physical education and biology, I hit the surfboard and surfed my way into the other countries, and I got stuck in Australia because it's such a beautiful country. So and I offer yoga retreats and surf retreats, and I have a new company. It's called Surf Art and Yoga, where I offer retreats. For our first retreat will be in January for women especially, to express themselves as they do, for example, on this next Sunday where we meet in Berlin, and also to get into the water and treat themselves with a little bit of yoga and meditation. I also work as a holistic life coach, so I work with people and especially women to get back to their true nature, their true self, and build confidence in the areas of relationships and nutrition, especially in stress management and so forth. Yeah.
Cool. And how did you come to do all this?
I myself, I wasn't very healthy in my youth, in my young years, and I was like a beer drinking, cigarette smoking, head banging young girl, and I spent most of my money and my time on music festivals, which are amazing in Germany and in the Netherlands. Um, and with 21, my father died on cancer, and that was my awakening. The moment I sat on his bed, and that's now a little bit dramatic, but it is as it is. That was my moment of awakening, where I was really sad and confused and angry in the same time. There was a moment of peace and understanding, and I understood more than just than that I have to be, rather than be something, or feel something rather than be someone. And that was the moment I started my journey to go to Hawaii and to learn how to surf, for example, instead of going to university.
Hmm.
Yeah, so that was the moment. And then I went to Hawaii and I surfed my first wave, and in that moment, this this moment of awakening came again. This pure, it was joy. It was like absolutely refreshing, and I felt absolutely free, and I wanted to have that over and over again. And from then I went back to study in Germany, as you do, to become a teacher, and I missed that feeling of joy I had when I could surf in Hawaii. And I started to practice yoga and went to my first yoga classes. And in my first yoga class, I laid in Shavasana, which is the deep relaxation pose at the end of a class. And in that moment, I was lying there, and I thought, what are we doing here? We're like a big group of people lying all flat down after 90 minutes of exercise. But then something cracked open, and I just had tears running down my face, and I remembered this feeling of joy again. And I thought, wow, I'm truly me, and I feel so much myself. I want that again. So yeah, this is how I got where I am right now, and want to share this feeling and this the path of awakening we can all go, and we can all yeah, we can go on to and work on to every day, every moment.
Yes, and this is amazing. I know these moments also, and this is
Yeah.
also what. Okay, so there we are again. We had a technical problem here, but this is life, as Alexa said. And so what I was going to say was that I also know these feelings, and that
Yeah.
exactly these moments have guided me to do what I do. So I
Mm-hmm.
started my YouTube channel because of this. I started my blog because
Wow.
of this, and
Yeah.
I did my teacher training and my DVD, everything because of this true feeling of aliveness and
Yeah.
knowing that it's so easy and it's accessible, and that you don't
Yes.
have to go to a monastery to
No.
pray, and you don't have to believe anything. And for me, it was all about sensuousness.
Wow.
It was all about really like feeling this precious body and this
Mm-hmm.
nature and everything around me. So,
Yes.
and I also want to learn to surf. This is really
Ah,
triggering me.
fantastic. Oh, fantastic, fantastic. Oh, I've so much to say about that because surfing is especially for women. I think it's a great way to get to let our armor fall, our shield we always holding up, especially. And I would say that now, like as German women, we all meant to be perfect and do everything perfect, and we live in a very male-driven world, and our whole world is organized in a very young way, so it's very strict and has forms, and surfing helps you to let that go and also let go of your armor and being always like having hold your posture right. It's about being playful, and it's so liberating. It's so liberating.
Yes, yes.
Mm.
And then we also get into our real power. This
Yes.
our true inner essence that is so much more power. Then we don't have to motivate ourselves
No.
because we just are.
Yes, exactly. We just are, and we're not as everyone thinks we you should be. We just in a way that is in a creative expression, an expression of what is right now in the moment. And I think that's the only way to be.
Yes, and this is our true power. This is really
Yes,
so amazing because a lot of people that come to me, and I'm sure also to you, they want to know, how do you motivate yourself? How can I
yeah,
push through this blockade?
yes,
No, just
no,
peel away the layers, see what's
yes.
inside, and this is your true source.
Yes, yes, that's so true. And it's a practice too, isn't it? Like it's nothing
Mm.
like you get triggered to get back to the old pattern you have, and then you're like, oh, afterwards you're like, I put it on again, like I want to get rid of this. But this, even though this awareness, if we have that, and even though it comes afterwards, we have it, and it's like a muscle we strengthen more and more, which is great. Good to know. And this
Yes,
is, yeah,
yes, and that's why we have to do the things that we do. So
exactly.
I'm very excited to know what you do every day to stay in your flow.
Yes. Okay. So usually I get up, and as soon as very early in the morning, so my alarm goes between 4:30 and 5 o'clock, depending when I got to bed. And
Wow.
then I used to write it. Now I just think it, and it's like I just give like a few moments to express gratitude. I believe in that in the morning. My mind is still like a blank slate, and I want just to, put things in that are good and inspire me and give me a good hum for the day, a good humming, a good vibe. So I do that, take a few moments and go through my head what I'm grateful for during the day for right now. And then I usually get up and I read some inspirational quotes, or I also work with A Course in Miracles, which is a
Mm.
huge book that goes over 365 days. And so this is a really good course. And then I sit in meditation for a while. And then depending on the day, I do a yoga practice, and sometimes I feel like I want to go out. The weather is great, and I go out for a run. I love like jogging or walking. I call it jogging because I usually I don't, like go push it, push it, push it. I love to be able to smile the whole time and enjoy the moment. So it's more cruising. And I rather do then a yoga session on the beach where I usually run.
Ah, you live on the beach
Near
then?
the beach, yeah, not very far. Yes, of course. I couldn't imagine to live anywhere else. It has to be like, I love this wide space I can look at. And yeah, that's usually how I start my day. And even though even if that is not possible and for any reason, yoga practice or the practice of self-growth or self-liberation for me personally is also given me in assignments throughout the day. And these are people I encounter, the love I can give, the attention I can give to other people, the projects I work on, my work in general. This is all my practice. So that's all my opportunity to live this inner freedom.
Yes, so awareness throughout the day. But
Yes,
I
yeah.
have to ask you about the alarm clock.
Yes.
So why do you need it, and why don't you just wake up just when you wake up?
I usually wake up at that time anyway. So if I wouldn't turn on the alarm clock, I will wake up. And the good thing is my husband as well. He's an early bird too. We're both. I guess it's the first. It's a inner clock we have from surfing, because if you get up early, the wind is still low and you can get quite good waves, and there are not many crowds out there. Um,
Mm.
on the other hand, for me, it's quiet time where I'm, most receptive, and then it's my natural. I think I aligned with that too, because it's a good time of the day. This is where other traditions, Buddhist monks, um, at dawn they start to meditate or do their practice as well. It's a it's a natural cycle we have as human beings. I
Mm.
feel like when I get up later, and that doesn't happen very often, there's like all my friends get a text message or message like, "Oh my God, I had a sleep in. I slept until 7 or something."
Oh my God.
Yeah, and for me, it's like I'm missing my day. I miss out on the day, on the beauty I have, and it's given to me every day. So, and it's a habit. It's just I can't do anything else. And even though it's raining and cold outside, and I can't get out for a surf or run, or I have done my yoga practice. I love this. The time of that day is so precious. It's so sacred. Um, yeah, I think it's just part of my life, and we get to bed very early too. So
Oh, what
we're not
time?
like
I'm so
so
curious.
9 o'clock
Oh,
is like where we
cool.
wind down, and then like at 10 we're in bed latest. Yeah, yeah. But we
Okay.
don't have a TV or anything. I haven't had a TV since, yeah, 15 years now. I haven't had a
Wow. And
TV,
me
so
since
it's
2005.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Cool. That's
Mm.
amazing. And this is also, I think for Berliners, this would be very, very brave because
Yeah.
everything here starts in the evenings.
Yes.
So
Yes. Very
it's like
true.
you would be missing out the city.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. And I'm right now in Germany for a visit, and I see how, I meet some friends tonight, and we meet at 8. And I said to them, "Oh my God, that's my bedtime." And then they said, "Well, this and that person that works until 7." But I think also Australia has also a different rhythm. Australians are really, they start also when they celebrate at night, they meet early. Like the pubs,
Mm.
for example, they close in the little towns, I think, they close at 11 or something. The kitchens in restaurants, they shut really early too. So they love to go on their adventures and get up early or exercise as well. So
Mm.
I totally fit into this country, that's for sure.
Yes, I want to check out this too because I'm planning to go to Spain and they're
Yeah.
totally different. They are
Yes.
totally late birds.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And I'm also
Absolutely.
an early bird, so I know what you're talking about. When I start early, like when I wake up at 5 and I think, oh, I'm awake, but I will go to my husband and cuddle
Yes.
with him.
Yeah.
Then I say husband, but we're just
You're
engaged.
engaged. I heard about that. I was so happy. Like, oh gosh, like that's
Yes, that's
beautiful.
so cool. And I
Yes.
was also happy to hear you had a husband because we didn't know this. We didn't talk
Yes.
about this yet.
Yes. 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 Yeah. That's another romantic story.
Yes, I will ask you maybe later about this romantic
Hmm.
story. But
Hmm.
first, I wanted to say that I really also enjoy this morning hours, and I feel like the entire day has a different vibe, and
Yeah.
also I get done so much more.
Yes.
So
Yes.
much
Yeah.
more. It's just like maybe 1 hour more that I really
Hmm.
work, but somehow it feels so different. I have a different energy.
Yes.
Everything is so
Yes.
effortless. And
Absolutely.
surfing.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so because this is my first interview, I have noted
Hmm.
some questions, not to miss
Mm,
anything.
good, good. Go ahead.
Yes, so maybe tell us what
Sorry.
is, you're totally welcome. What is the special thing about your method? Because there are millions of yoga teachers, but what I have learned, what you write about yoga, this was really like, oh, wow, I want to try this. I think she will understand me.
And this is the same I felt when I read your and saw your classes. I understand what you're doing, and I understand it now after you explained why you're doing what you're doing. So my method, it's hard. I wouldn't say it's my method. It's like an approach of my individual idea of how to approach yoga and weave that into our daily lives. And it has, of course, like a few different sides. It derives, like physically, it derives from the idea of very good alignment and very fine alignment. And I'm referring here to my teachers, which is Eve Grisbowski, which is like a yoga queen in Australia. And I'm very, very honored to be her mentee and spending time with her and going to her classes. And so she teaches a very therapeutic yoga, which is based on Iyengar yoga. And I try or I automatically do, because I am so in awe of her technique and the way how she teaches. She differentiates a lot in her classes. So you have all sorts of people in one group and teach them the basic fine alignments of the bodily posture of the traditional hatha yoga or yoga postures. That's one side. And the other side, which refers a little bit to my other teacher and my own experience of surfing as well, and other works of dance and body work. Of my other teachers, Diane Long, and she teaches in the tradition of Vandaskara Valley, which is called intuitive yoga. And this is mindfulness in motion. It's becoming aware right now in the moment, and you can't, it's about more, it leaves more questions. It's more about, there's no posture to achieve. It's about being in the moment. It's about being aware about the posture in between the posture, the breath, or the space in between between your breaths and the space between your thoughts. It's about the moment right now, and that frees your body completely up. And if you're aware of where you're standing, if you're going onto the for example, bring your awareness onto your feet, if you're not standing on your hands, which I love doing as well. But then then you start there and you see your whole body as a matrix of tissue. And this goes a little bit into the work of Tom Myers, who wrote an amazing book which is called Anatomy Trains, and it's about myofascial alignment. So you align as a whole person, as a whole holistic alignment. And you always integrate your core, but not as abdominal muscles or anything like that.
Yes.
It's like your core is more like a glove from within, that you align and bring your spine into stability in the base, no matter if you're on your feet, no matter if you're in your hands, and then give your spine freedom of movement. And as we know, the spine holds the highway of our brain, of our
Yes.
all the information of our
Yes.
being. So the more freedom we give our spine, the more freedom we give our energy to flow, and we experience absolute freedom. So this is the approach I teach, and with the intention to give my students self-confidence and ownership of what they're doing in the moment, so that they walk out and go to other yoga classes or practice on their own and always have the feeling, oh, I'm not, I know what I'm doing here. I'm
Yes.
practicing of being in the moment,
Yes.
rather than saying, I have no idea what I do here, this is boring. It's more about, I actually know what I'm doing. I'm a human being that is awake.
Yes,
I
and they
know.
have their knowledge about themselves, and then they
Yeah,
can go out and do everything. Every
exactly.
new method, whatever they will learn with their new awareness. This
Yes.
is like what
Yes.
we are doing.
I can't wait. Absolutely. I can't wait.
Oh
Oh
my
gosh.
God, this is so
Yeah.
completely and everybody like all the students that are learning this, they're asking, why did nobody do this before? Because this is
Yeah.
in belly dance something special, but body workers work like this.
Yeah.
Contemporary dancers
Dance.
dance like this. And a lot of yoga, not all yoga, but a lot of
No.
yoga is working with this.
Yes.
And
Yes.
this is amazing. I'm so
Yeah.
happy that this is
Yeah.
spreading.
Yes. 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 It's amazing. It's
Oh,
yeah, it's about giving, like, because we are so impressed by, our teachers and how did they do that, and we have to follow a certain school, and but it is not about that, because you're on your own individual journey, and you can take on whatever it is, but at the end, no one else is responsible for your happiness and your whole alignment. That's you.
yes.
And you know and that we can only get through being awake and present in the moment.
Yes, yes, and it's so amazing that this can come through the body. So we have to
Yes.
embody ourselves and
Yeah.
not just because a lot of people also think that, oh, well, actually, we're just not material, we're just having this human experience, we're just spiritual.
Mm.
But okay, but being human and in this body is just so amazing. Why should I?
Yes.
Why should I be out there somewhere if I
Yeah.
can be here? And all this
Yeah.
gives me so much more spiritual stuff that I don't have to explain or to think about.
Hmm.
It's just like
Hmm.
an inner knowing.
Yes, it's a feeling. Yeah, it's
Yes,
it's it's a knowing. It's
a
true. Yeah.
knowing. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Because before these experiences, I was always thinking a lot about philosophy and also different religions. I was searching for the truth, and
Hmm.
it was like so many concepts. Which one is good? We never know. And
Yes.
I can evaluate everything. I can have discussions on everything, but it always leaves me empty. And after
Yeah.
these aliveness experiences, this total sensuous whew, love or
Yes.
whatever it is, it's
Yes.
just you don't have to guess anything,
No.
you just know.
Yes.
And you
Yes.
don't
Yes.
have to
Yes.
explain everybody because if they don't know it, it's okay. It's their
Yeah.
error. So cool.
Absolutely.
High
Absolutely.
five.
High five. And we share it with all you.
Yes. And please, if you're watching this on YouTube or on my blog, comment us if you have had those experiences because we're so excited to learn this. Isn't it amazing to
Yes.
exchange? Because a lot of people have these experiences, but they never talk about it because they
Hmm.
think, oh, then what will they think? This is like
Yes.
weird. Am I
Yes.
off? And then they're not happy in their everyday lives, and they can like my first experience I had when I was 13, and
Hmm.
it really kicked me out of my life. So I was
Wow.
totally depressed because nobody could understand me and I didn't
No.
know what this was. And
Yeah.
it was just nothing made sense. And I was like,
Hmm.
so this,
Wow.
that's why if you had experiences like this, don't think you're crazy.
No. This is life. This is being
Yes.
alive.
And please
Yes.
leave us a comment and we will be so happy to chat with you.
Hmm.
So, next questions. Let's see. Aha, so was there a moment that has changed your life? You have already told about the death experience, and I think death experiences are always like, if you're open, then they
Yeah.
can really shift so much.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. And I will, yeah, say this was it. Like that was the experience where I woke up, and then additionally to that, the surfing and the yoga. There are like the experiences that taught me that it's not about who I am, it's about how I live, and not what I have or what I know. It's who what I experience right now. This is about it.
Yeah,
And we get oftentimes so concerned about the past and the future, and we forget totally what we're experiencing now. And that's the only moment we really have, and the only experience we really, really have. And that's what I learned then.
cool.
Mm.
Okay, I have to watch what I have. Yes, and then I was asked a question by Jana from Alive. I don't know if
Okay.
you know her, but she has asked me a question in an interview. What are the three most important books that have changed your life? And I love this question so much.
It
Just
is.
thinking about it gave me so much.
Yes.
So Tell us.
Yes. Oh gosh. There are many books, and I remember I can't really recall. Like there was one book because after my father died and all that happened, I started to research like you did in all these different religions, and I remembered carrying this little book, How to Be a Buddhist or something like that, or How to Bring Buddhism into Life in my pocket for a year, and I studied Buddhism a lot because I resonated with this free approach a lot. Um, but a book that really opened my eyes is probably as many people had is The Power of Now from Eckhart Tolle. That was one of the books, and from Louise Hay, How to Heal Yourself. And it all like now after years and years of reading these books, it's like the basic literature. But these two books definitely there were something that where I thought, oh well, they understand me and they have had that. And then there's a wonderful book from Marianne Williamson, which is A Return to Love, which is beautiful. She does an amazing work. If you haven't found it yet and found Marianne Williamson yet, I would really recommend to read her books and listen to her audio workshops. And she integrates a lot of biblical terminology, but I usually replace that and just overhear it and see if instead of she's saying God, it's like for me, it's like light or universe. And so in essence, what she's teaching, I really, really resonate with, and it brings me a lot forth to what I really want to do and understand about my journey. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Maybe we will link these books here downstairs in the comments. So, and then what we will do on the Sensuous Sunday? What you
Ah,
want to do with us? Because I'm also excited.
yes, and I'm happy that you're teaching actually the foundations of what I will teach. You teach us about the pelvis and the whole integration of the pelvic floor and everything. And this is what I already mentioned. This is like the basic of my work as well. So I will take the participant onto a journey of exploration to come into the now through alignment and through fluid movements. And this is what I call then the work with the fluid core as our center we are moving towards and radiate from. And we get the lightness as we have when we surf, for example. There is no balance state that is stagnant and one state. It changes all the time, and we can only surf a surfboard and float on water and move on water without falling if we're in the moment and let our body align itself and find the balance itself in the moment. And then we accept what happens around us. There is a wave coming and the wave changes all of a sudden. We can't predict, but we learn how to be centered and to be awake. And then we do and react, and we learn when we fall off the board, when we do maybe a hard turn and then we fall off or anything, or we're scared and not doing anything. You learn with all these little experiences. And this is what I will teach on the Sunday, that we learn to move like a surfer on a surfboard and becoming awake in every moment.
Wow, wow. And this seems really like something so exciting and important for everybody. Because some
Yes.
girls have asked, but I have never ever done yoga.
Perfect. That's like I love. That's all I want to teach is I love beginners or people who think they're not part of the club yoga, the private club yoga, because it's intimidating. It's not about that. We can put the word yoga away and just say we will move with freedom and joy. That's all we're gonna do, and you don't have to be someone or somebody or be flexible or
Yes.
anything. Yeah.
Oh man, this is oh man, I say like in Germany. Okay, and then I have a last question. That is,
Yeah.
what 3 tips would you give to German women and
Yeah.
also like the international community of women? So now,
All right.
because I have like 30% Germans watching
Yeah.
and we talk in English.
Yes.
Wir könnten auch auf Deutsch reden.
Yeah.
Because all of the viewers are also like the rest is not German. So we want to spread Alexa's joy and beauty
Oh,
everywhere.
good. Thank you.
So
So
yes.
Do you want me to do that in English or
In
German?
English.
In English. All right.
And
So
also
for
not only for Germans, but also what would
yeah.
you like to say, like maybe Asian women? Because I
Okay,
have
I'll
Asians also.
probably for Germans and or for women in general, I would say, and I can only refer to what I learn and I'm working with every day, and is one thing is be sure that you're good enough, that whatever you are right now, you're exactly perfect. And you're maybe not perfect, but you're whole. You're whole as you are. And in our societies and in our collective thinking, we are always get, suggerated. Is it suggeriert? We always get the picture of we're not perfect. We should buy this because we lack of that. And we remember whatever you do, you are whole. You are whole. You're born whole. And whatever you're working with now, if pleasant or unpleasant, these are our assignments of life that remind us of our holiness and unpeel the layers we have put on to come to our truth and be in the flow. That would be my first suggestion or my first
Beautiful.
tip. And my second tip is that, and I referred to that earlier, I talked about it earlier, that being a woman and being feminine is not a weakness. I came from, living in Germany, and I was always a tomboy. I was riding horses and I was drinking beer and I was headbanging and I was and then I went surfing and, being really brave. But I learned now, and now in the last, I would say in the last 5 years, I learned that vulnerability and openness and unreasoned and unexplained outbursts of creativity is nothing bad. We're living in a society that always needs reasoning, organization, and strict timelines and so forth. But the feminine source is totally different. That's something creative, that's something unexplainable, that is something nourishing and opening for all of us. And that's why we love mothers, why we love women who are living and expressing this so much. So that would be my second tip. So femininity is something beautiful and nothing weak. And
Beautiful.
the next would be playful. And I think that is something I learned when I learned how to surf, is falling off the surfboard. Or I was lying in Hawaii on my board, and I thought I was 21 when I learned how to surf, and I had next to me all these cute Hawaiian girls paddling along, and I was coughing my lungs out. I was still smoking, and I felt like I don't know, like a cow on this board. And I learned, and especially Hawaiians live that so much, to be goofy, to be funny, to fall off the board, to let go of this rigidity and thinking I have to hold it, I have to fall, be playful and be silly and look funny. Who cares?
Yes.
And I think children remind us a lot. I've got my nephew, my niece here around me at the moment, and I feel like I've got that much more than I had it when I was in my 20s, that I can totally let go of everything and be a child and just play with them. It's such a joy. They're a good
Yes.
reminder.
Yes. I love your tips.
Thank you. I guess that's similar to what you teach through your movement, so I'm looking
We
forward
have
to that
so
too.
much in common. This is like ridiculous. But we are also so very, very different because
Yes.
I haven't surfed yet. But we have
Mhm.
also done riding, and I was also a wild girl. I was a punk girl.
Yeah.
So we have really a lot of interesting things in common.
That is amazing. I have never done belly dancing, so I'm really, really interested. It sounds lots of fun, I guess.
Yes, but there will be just like 10 minutes belly dancing
Okay.
included because it's really like in 2 hours we want to learn everything out of our female pelvis. So this is really a lot. And at the
Yes.
end, I will just break down how we can implement all this into belly dancing. First,
Wow,
we will
amazing.
move, and then we will do some belly dancing because, of course, there are some belly dancers present,
Hmm.
and there are really some amazing belly dance moves that are so universal that everybody should
Yeah.
know them.
Oh, fantastic. That's amazing. I remember I implemented one thing into my yoga classes even. I learned from you. I saw on TV, you had on Spiegel TV or something like that
Uh-huh.
it was. And I saw it and it was like this knee,
And
like
this
really fast knee,
shimmy.
but
Yeah.
this shimmying. And I did that in my yoga classes to release their pelvic floor because I thought this is okay. We did abdominal work all day. We did, and it was perfect. People love it. They're like, whoo, this is awesome.
Yes, and this is also an amazing move. When you do this without any pressure and you want just to be playful like you did, you
Yeah,
just have fun and it's cool. But if you're coming to a belly dance class and everybody has to do it perfect and there's so much pressure, this movement
yeah,
doesn't work. It just
yeah.
doesn't work.
I can imagine.
It doesn't work because then it's like total imbalance and
Mm.
it just doesn't work and then you get totally frustrated.
Wow, wow,
This is a
interesting.
playfulness move, actually.
Ah,
Playfulness
okay.
training move.
Oh, very good, very good. I gotta remember that.
Oh, I'm so happy to have you here. I'm happy to
Yeah,
see you on Sunday. On Sunday, we meet already on Saturday, so
yes.
yay!
Woohoo!
And thank you so much for being here and for sharing your wisdom on my first interview with somebody that I want to present to you, my beautiful community. And yes, so you got your last words, your last three tips from Alexa, and we just say goodbye, I think. I don't know how to end an interview.
Thank you for
Oh, we
having
can
me.
say
Thank
namaste.
you.
Namaste.
Namaste. Mwah.